podcast in which one man strives to level up his geekhood and helping you do the same, one battle at a time. Now, let's get geeky with Gamer Leaf.
Once upon a time, there was a girl named Yoda. She always liked her head because it was creepy. And her favorite food is water and bananas and eggs. Her favorite color is black. Her favorite color is white. Her favorite color is any color. She loves the forest and wished she could live in a forest monster. There once lived a puppy named Puppette. She was loving her head because it was different from her other body. Her job was vacuuming people's heads, putting makeup on people's bodies, and tickling their toes. Her favorite color was black, and she loved to be a dog. The end.
Bobby was a robot. He knew he was a robot, but then he broke his leg. He was the first robot with 2 prosthetic legs. So sometimes his robot buddies would make fun of him because all of their legs were exactly the same as their robot bodies, but not Bobby's because he was a prosthetic robot. So he liked to participate in races, but once he got caught cheating for running a non-prosthetic robot race with his prosthetics already in place. If he would have just ran it with his old legs, but they were nowhere to be found, where did they go? It's a mystery to this day. Ha 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 ha.
Did that sound familiar to you guys? Didn't it to me either. It's a story about a sorts, a new game that's on your Kickstarter Corner. But stay tuned. You'll love it here, but you'll never love it on the next one because he's going to do it on your next file.
Stay tuned for after the interview and Kickstarter Corner to hear what myself, Little Gamer Leaf, and Princess Leaf thought of Out of Sorts as
Little Gamer Leaf.
Yeah, Little Gamer Leaf. Is that what I said?
Nope.
What did I say?
Little Leaf.
Oh, yeah, Little Gamer Leaf. Stay tuned to find out what me, Little Gamer Leaf, and Princess Leaf thought of Out of Sorts that's currently on Kickstarter. It'll be our preview. So stay tuned for after the interview and after the Kickstarter Corner. And now we cut to the interview already in progress with Gamer Leaf, Micah, and Lizzie. Welcome to Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf. Tonight we're joined by none other than the creators of, you may have seen it on Kickstarter, it's called Out of Sorts, a game for creative kids of all ages. That's some, beautifully laser engraved mix and match game designed to encourage creativity, imagination, and tons of fun. And tonight we're lucky enough to have on the creators and masterminds behind this great game, Micah and his lovely wife. I feel bad I forgot your name already. Elizabeth, is that right? Are you guys the creator and mastermind behind it?
I suppose so, yeah.
Oh, there you go. Well, thank you so much for joining us on Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf. Before we get started in talking about the game and whatnot, let's rewind a little bit. We don't have to go back too terribly far, of course, unless you guys were born into tabletop board gamings. But how did you guys get started into playing tabletop board games?
Let's see. So I'll start, I guess. So pretty standard kid with a few board games on the shelf. Definitely had anything I remember from Parcheesi to Monopoly and that type of thing, of course. And then like Survivor, Fireball Island. So a lot of fun things. I had several brothers, and so we were always competitive, and it was all about who could look better and be better. And so we played a lot of things as a kid. I was always the one who more or less was in the background and enjoyed watching people play games, whether they were either video games or tabletop games. And so I've always enjoyed kind of the strategy and everything that's around them. And so I found that creating them is so much fun, and it's just as good as playing.
Okay, awesome. And so did you back the new updates to Fireball Island that was recently on Kickstarter?
I didn't back it, but I did see it, I think, a little too late potentially. But it's really cool to see that come back to life.
Oh boy, yeah. So there you go. So that's awesome. What about yourself, Lizzie? How did you get into tabletop board games, or were you born into them?
I have a similar story as Mike. I have a lot of brothers and sisters, and it was just part of our family culture to stay up really late playing games. I think some of our favorites there was one called Rail Baron, which is similar to Ticket to Ride. And I remember just summertime hit and we would play that game every single night. And it took, several nights to get through a game, but those are just some of my fondest memories of my childhood, having the window open in the kitchen and the breeze blowing through and playing these games with my siblings all night long.
There you go. So that's awesome. Now, minus Out of Sorts, because if I let you pick that game, I don't know what my audience would do to me. So besides Out of Sorts, do you guys have a current favorite game that you guys like?
We have a couple very competitive kids who they come by it honestly. So at our house, we like cooperative games, and so probably right now our big ones are either like the Forbidden Island, Forbidden Desert, and we've been big into Hogwarts Battle. If you've seen that,
I can't say that I have.
Okay, it's like a cooperative card collecting game. That's really nice, and we really enjoy that. It's anything. Our 5-year-old, she can get behind it, and then our 11-year-old loves it, and then we have a lot of fun.
And there's not too many tears at the end because we all win or lose together.
That's right.
Oh, okay. So that's why you do the co-op instead?
Yeah. We have some kids who are still learning how to lose.
Oh, that's fun. I remember he's he just barely turned 10, but that was, well, I guess all of our kids kind of, well, at least our two boys that play games, that was always fun when they didn't win and then they didn't want to play and they were done and everything, but they got past that, so that was good.
That's good. Good to hear.
But now they're always beating me at games. The word on the street is you guys have a new game on Kickstarter called Out of Sorts. What can you tell us about this great game?
Sure, yeah. So ultimately, it's a set of tiles, and so each set comes with 6 creatures. Each creature has a head, a body, and feet, and similar to remember those games where you would flip just parts of the book. And you'd come up like with the head of the doctor and the body of the plumber and the feet of the fireman or whatever. And you kind of make these really funny juxtapositions of body parts. At the heart of it, it's basically that. And so for instance, there's 2 sets. There's a robot set and an animal set. So with the animals, there's a penguin and a squid and a yak and a bug and a giraffe and a platypus. And you mix their parts and the illustrations. We've tried to make them really kind of fun and quirky and interesting. And then in addition to that, they come with these little tokens, these little coin wooden chips that have different elements. And you use both the tiles and the tokens to play different games. And so similar to like a deck of cards, it's more of a system that you play as opposed to just a specific game. And so we have, at launch, we're going to have between 6 and 8 games that you can play, and we create the rules. And then the idea is we're hoping that our community will come up with their own games and share those with us. And then we'll of course, share them with everyone who has a set. And
some of the things, like I, at the moment, having almost 5 small children, my attention span is not always what it used to be, I guess. So something I really enjoy is that many of the games that we've come up with are very simple. But they, like just today, Micah has started developing another game that is a little bit more complex. And anyway, it's just fun to see like the range that we're able to come up with this, with just this very, I guess, limited, but very versatile illustrations and materials.
Awesome. So it's a more complex game dealing with out of sorts that he just came up with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we've been there. There's definitely a few of the games like the most basic is like memory, where you flip all the tiles upside down, and instead of drawing two to match, you draw three. And if you get the three parts of a specific character, then you keep it, or you flip them back over. And so you can play really simple games like that. And we're trying to make a few that have a lot more strategy involved. And so the ones that we've been experimenting with now are along those lines. It's about like every turn you have a different choice. So you can either place a token, flip a tile, or move a token. And so there's a lot more strategy about claiming different tiles and where you position your tokens. So we're having a lot of fun trying to find that balance, because we really do want it to be something that you can use regardless of your age.
Cool. Yeah, I'd be interested to hear about some of those other ones that you've come up with. I believe that last one you just talked about, where you the memory game with the three different, and you got to find the three different parts. Sat down and played that with the robot set with my little girls the other day. They ended up winning me, but it was a pretty fun game.
Yeah, I usually get beaten by my kids too.
And I just love that. So did you make these by yourself, or did somebody else make them? It's just awesome. Like, when it says beautifully laser cut or whatnot, I wasn't expecting what I got in the mail when we got our preview set.
Oh well, I'm glad that you like them. Yeah, but so I worked on all the illustrations. Basically, I have had a template that I work off of, and I draw them about like twice the size that they are, and then I scan them into the computer, trace them, give them the different textures, and then we have a kind of a desktop laser cutter that we've been prototyping on and really developing the style and the card, or the tiles, and then also the box, of course, that they come in. And so we wanted it to be something that was really good quality, and looked really beautiful, whether it's sitting just on your desk or on a shelf. And then, of course, we live in Brooklyn, New York, and so for us, space is of great value. So we wanted it to be something that was not overly large, and just took the space that it needed, and you could throw it in your bag or just.
Yeah, it's I have spent many hours at gymnastics with my daughter, and just with a box of out of sorts, and keeping my younger kids entertained and myself as well. It's been really great just to be able to throw that in a bag and have all these different games to play. From, my 2-year-old enjoys stacking and lining up the tiles, and of course my older boys, the 11-year-old and the 8-year-olds, are more into the games themselves. But it's been a little bit of a lifesaver.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, like you said, with the boxes that are taking up a little bit of space or whatnot, it's amazing. And then with all those different games you're packing in on there. So per se, somebody likes what they've heard and whatnot, and want to get one of these boxes or whatnot. It looks like there might be options to get two of them. What is that going to set somebody back, Micah or Lizzie?
Yeah. So right now on Kickstarter, a basic set, which is the box, tiles, and tokens, is $35. And shipping will be in addition to that. I think in the United States it's $4, I want to say. Um, and then to get both sets, there's a bit of a discount. And then we also have kind of like these really high-end premium versions, and those use really high-end materials. They're actually they'll be handmade by myself, and they're just kind of at a different level, and they're more kind of the collector's piece, and those are definitely a bit more, but really quite nice.
Yeah, it looks like one in cherry and one in walnut wood, it looks like.
Yeah, that's correct.
Awesome. And then what can you tell us about this highest level, the design your own set? Do they send you pictures, or how does that one work?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So, like I said, we've got this kind of template that you can draw on, and really basically comes down to that you keep your drawings within the box and that they line up at certain points. And so I figured, hey, if we have an illustrator or somebody else who really wants to kind of make their own set, if I'll send them a template, they can draw on it. They can take as many opportunities they want. They send me their favorite 6 drawings. I'll scan them in, get them ready, laser engrave them, cut them out, cut out the tiles. They'll even have their own box with their illustrations on it, and that'll go back to them as a truly custom, one of a kind set. And the nice thing is, because everything's based on a template, the robots right now can be played with the animals, and then if you have a custom set, you can interchange those with the existing sets as well.
Well, that's pretty cool. Now, yeah, I know you talked about, Lizzie, you talked about taking them to gymnastics and whatnot, and it sounds like you guys have your own set of play testers. During play testing, was there ever anything you guys had to scrap because it just wouldn't work for the game or the system, I mean?
We've definitely had a lot. Oh, sorry, that was for you.
No, I'm trying to think if you have anything to off the top of your head.
Yes, as far as the games themselves, we've come up with all sorts, and my kids have had a lot of fun creating theirs, and we've scrapped plenty that didn't quite make mustard.
Okay, so there are a couple of things that when we first started developing this, we were thinking they would be like blocks, and it was something about the laser cutter that it would make it more difficult to do the blocks. But once we started on the tiles, we realized that being able to see all the characters together and all sides of the blocks, you're limited in what you can see at any given time. So when we moved to the tiles, we thought, oh my gosh, this is so much better than anything that we've come up with. Also, we have experimented with color. We can't laser engrave the color, which is one drawback, possibly. But if you have color on these, then you lose the continuity of just having the monochrome. So, we did some coloring on it and showed it to friends and play testers, and they're like, it looks nice, but we really, really like just the monochrome because you do get this continuity with all of the characters that just makes it so much more fun because you're not jarred by changes in color and that kind of thing. Everything looks like, oh, that really could go together, even if it's like a robot with a yak's body.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I want to say, just looking at the different pictures and stuff, it vaguely reminds me of, I watched a lot of Sesame Street growing up, and I want to say, I don't remember exactly, but they had where they did some kind of mixing and matching of bodies and heads and stuff, if I recall correctly.
Sure, I don't remember that, but it sounds excellent.
So what would you say, maybe, I don't know if you both have a different answer or if you have the same answer, but what are you guys most proud of when it comes to Out of Sorts, a game for creative kids of all ages?
Oh man. Well, Micah did all the heavy lifting here. I was like mostly consultant. Although if I were to pick the one thing that I'm pretty pleased with these days, it's the on Instagram where we are sharing some I don't know if you call them outtakes from the Master of Silly game, and I've been having a lot of fun just putting together random tiles and making a story out of them, and it's been a lot of fun to just see these things come to life and to create a personality and a story for these creatures.
Yeah, one of the games that we really enjoyed making is that Master of Silly, and basically what it is everybody who plays gets a head, a body, and feet just randomly, and they put together, and then they create a creature of some sort, and they basically just they give it a name, they give it a backstory, and everybody tells their funny story about what they've created, and then it's kind of like a little bit like apples to apples style. You go around and you vote for who you thought was the funniest, and they get a token. And then whoever has the most tokens at the end wins. So that's been really fun.
That's pretty good. What about yourself? What are you most proud of when it comes to this, Micah?
I'm really pleased with how the illustrations themselves turned out. I'm kind of the king of the the 80% rule, meaning that I get about 80% of the way through a project, and then it eventually like dies away, and then I move on to the next thing. And I feel like this project has just been so wonderful to work on. The illustrations have really come together in such a nice way. Even the box itself, uh, and I just feel like everything has just really like flowed together nicely, and I've just been so pleased with kind of the quality and the excitement that I see in just kids' faces when they start playing. The other day we had a like a bit of a charity auction type thing that we gave one of the prototype sets to, and a little girl, her parents bought it for her, and like as we were leaving, she like shows me, she's got the box in her hand, and just like glee on her face that she gets to play with this every day, and that was like really exciting to see.
Yeah, both my 11-year-old daughter and my she'll be 5 in December. Both my daughters, since we sat down and play it the first night we got it, they keep wanting to play it. I think they even snuck off with it one day and we're playing it, so that's kind of cool.
Wow, that's really great to hear. Thank you.
Yeah, they really like it, and so we'll be doing a pretty soon. Hopefully, probably when we release this, we'll probably have a preview episode where we all three sit down and talk about it. Maybe I'll see if some of my other kids want to get in on it too. But yeah, it's a really fun game from what we played or whatnot, and I really like it. Now, per se, somebody's fallen. They've been listening or they tried to listen, but they've fallen asleep. It wouldn't be because of you guys or your great game. It'd be because of me and my podcast. At the time of the recording, what we're into the just about into the second week of July, and we've already released 108 episodes for the year. So sometimes they get a little tired of hearing me drone on and on, so they fall asleep. And that's neither been confirmed nor denied by any of my fans. So I'm going to keep going with it until I get told otherwise. But they're suddenly jolted awake so they don't hit the oncoming traffic. Why should they take a chance on Out of Sorts? You have their full attention now, so they don't hit that traffic. Why should they take a chance on Out of Sorts, a game for creative kids of all ages, especially with all the other great games that are out there currently on Kickstarter?
I think this is really a lot different than a lot of the games I've seen on Kickstarter. I mean, it is fairly simple to pick up and play, and because it is so versatile, you can play it any way that you want to play it. I said before that I sometimes have a hard time with my attention span, and, but I really like just pulling out a set, and kind of helps me work through problems sometimes, just to it's kind of a stress release kind of a thing. Just do something fun and creative, and it doesn't have to be stressful at all.
Well, there you go. That's pretty cool. What about yourself, Micah? Is your answer different, or why should they take a chance on this one, especially with everything out there?
Right. Yeah. I think like we say that it's a game of creativity for all ages, and it really is. Like I've been so excited to see like my 2-year-old enjoy it at his own level, and then my 5 and then 8 and 11-year-old, and they all kind of like have there are elements of the game, and there are different games that speak to different ages, and everyone really seems to enjoy it, and I feel kind of arrogant saying this, but it really turned out beautifully, and it's something that I would be really proud to I guess suggest to people to just have sitting on their shelf, and as something that kind of adds value and beauty to their home.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that. I love the box and the cards, and yeah, it's all really cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So yeah, that's awesome. So we'll make sure we leave links in the show notes, so anybody who's listening, definitely go ahead and at least check out the Kickstarter page. It looks like it's going through the 19th of July. I know you guys don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. So if somebody backs this great project, when would they anticipate getting it after it funds?
So we're looking at September as a pretty realistic goal there.
But definitely by Christmas.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, originally we were gonna say August. I have a manufacturer ready to go. Their turnaround is pretty quick. The nice thing about the pros and cons about laser engraving as a medium is that it's kind of a one-off thing. And so there is some efficiency of scale at bulk, but really we can also have smaller runs that we can have done quickly and then sent to us, so that we can get things out the door. So I sincerely think at this point, the way things are going, September is a very realistic time frame.
Well, that's awesome. Now, I know you said you listened to at least 1.5 of the podcast, Micah, so maybe you're prepared, maybe not. But the next portion of our podcast is called Adventures in Application Acquisition, where we talk about an app, be it for a cell phone, a tablet, a computer, or even a video game. And it doesn't even necessarily have to deal with tabletop board games or what do you call it, mix and match games or anything like that. Is there an app you guys use a lot of that we can talk about for a moment?
Sure. Yeah. So, yeah, one of the games that's kind of influenced me, and I mean, Out of Sorts is one of the several both digital and physical games that I've kind of experimented with over the years. And one of the games that's really been influential to me is a game on the phone called Drop 7, and it was a bit of a cult classic a number of years ago. And it's just really simple. Basically, you just have kind of a Tetris style grid, and you drop these little circles. And if you have 5 in a row, you try to drop a 5 on that column, and then it activates them, and kind of like cracks an egg at first, and then the second time it activates, it becomes a number. And basically, you just try to keep your board clear by lining things up with their appropriate number. It's a little bit hard to explain, but it's really fun, and it's probably taken a lot more hours of my life than I should admit.
Yeah, my wife's kind of put out because now I recently got Tetris on the phone, so it takes me forever. Like I don't know what my high score is. I want to say somewhere around 400,000, but it takes me a long time in my office or in the bathroom at some points or whatnot. So yeah, she gives me a hard time about that. But so yeah, that sounds cool. I love games like that. Is that a free or a cost paid app, or what is that?
Yep, it's free.
Awesome. So being a creator and all, or either way, if you own the rights to that app, Micah, what would be one thing you would do to fix it or make it better?
Well, it was actually created by, I forget his name, but like a professor at NYU who is in the kind of, he teaches game kind of mechanics and development and that type of like idea. Really smart guy. And then it did well within a small community, and actually ended up selling it to Zynga when they were really kind of in their prime. And I think if I were to go back in time and have that advice, I would say don't sell it, because then they sort of ruined the nature of it. They kind of came up with a release at one point that had new graphics and new animations, and it just sort of like took away the spirit of it. And so I definitely say don't do that.
So go back to the way it used to be.
Yeah, exactly. And in fact, funnily enough, there was an update after the big update in which you could go in and change the skin back to classic mode, because I think they got so much pushback from people who just wanted it back to how it was.
Oh, there you go. So it sounds like they already fixed it for you then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Awesome. What about yourself, Lizzie? Is there an app you use a lot of?
Let's see. Well, when I play games, the game that I like most is Dots. I hear that's pretty popular, but it's also a game that you can play a minute at a time, which is sometimes all I've got. And it's also very simple. You just connect dots, and dots of the same color, and the dots that you connect disappear, and they have to be kind of lined up in a line, or you can do a 90-degree angle. You can't go diagonal. And if you get a square of dots of the same color, then all of the dots of that color disappear. And anyway, it's very simple, but can be very satisfying. You count up the number of dots that you have disappeared at the end of the game, at the end of the minute, and then that's like your currency. You can buy things, I guess, with that, although I never really do.
So if you own the rights to Dots, what would be one thing you would do to fix it or make it better, Lizzie?
Oh, let's see. I think introducing maybe an element of a little bit more unexpected, like maybe a dot explodes every now and then and just sets off a chain reaction. I think that could be fun and exciting.
There you go. Awesome. Yeah, we like to make a green podcast around here. So if any of the creators of Dots is ever listening, you heard it here first on Getting Geeky with Game Relief, what Lizzie would do to make that a better app. So yeah, we don't want to keep you all night, but Mina's coming there to New York to stalk you guys in person. How would people go about keeping up with you guys or what you have going on with Out of Sorts or any other games you might have coming out in the future?
Yeah, probably at least the most interesting and enjoyable way to follow us is on Instagram. That is kind of our social network of choice, and so either check out the hashtag Play Out of Sorts, or our account is at Hi, it's at Hello From Hi. So that's HELLO, and then from FROM, and then Hi spelled HEI.
Like our last name.
So there you go. There you have it. So we'll make sure we leave the links in the show notes, but we don't want to keep you all night, but we really appreciate you both taking time out of your night, especially with the full crew there to come on Getting Geeky with Game Relief. We really appreciate it.
And thank you very much.
Yeah, it's been really fun. Thank you.
What is this place? What is it doing here in the Leaves computer? Oh, it's Kickstarter Corner with the Leaves.
Before we get on with Kickstarter Corner, I wanted to remind you guys that after Kickstarter Corner, you'll want to hang around because we'll be bringing you our review of this great game that we talked to the Hyatts about, Out of Sorts, so stick around. But anyways, getting on with the Kickstarter Corner, what do we have here? We've got a couple of great games to tell you all about. First off, Lunar 5000. It's a board game where players build and race in a personalized spaceship. When the dice hit the table, will you be in the winner's circle? They made it at the current time, they made it a third of the way to their goal. I'm really hoping that they will be able to go ahead and relaunch, because right now at the time I'm recording this, there's 16 hours left. So unless we have a miracle and we can get about 70 more backers in the short period that it'll take, let's go ahead and see if we can make this become a reality. If not, make sure you pledge $1. Nothing will be charged to your card if it doesn't fund. And you can go ahead and follow along for the upcoming, hopefully, relaunch and revamp. So that'd be cool. Anyways, what else do we got here? Let's go ahead and see, shall we? Yes, we shall. Next is Vikingjarl, the board game. Yeah, sorry, Bob, you heard us talk about this before. It's an exciting strategic board game about Vikings, Norse mythology, warfare, trade, and building settlements. Made by Norwegian Vikings. And speaking of Norwegian Vikings, we actually had one of the Vikings on the show a while back ago. They're over halfway funded, and they've got, 8 days to go. So going through the 20th of July, so definitely check out that one as well. As there is also a giveaway, which you have 5 more days to enter. So what that puts us about the 16th or so. And you go ahead, this is coming from Board Game Stories. You can win, one person will win Vikingjarl, one person will win Theosis. Both on Kickstarter, I believe. I want to say Theosis is already funded, so definitely check out those 2 great games. Next, you've heard of Casual Board Revolution. Even if you haven't, you should know all about their Kickstarter. Yes, sirree, Bob. They're doing a Casual Game Insider. It's for their Casual Game Insider. So when I say CGI, I don't mean computer graphic, whatever that means for CGI. It's actually Casual Game Insider. And this is year number 7 of this great magazine. I've read a couple. I've also read and seen. Well, I haven't read it. I got to go in and read it. But I love the pictures and the different ads in Casual Game Insider, the newest one that's just come out or is about to hit stores. But anyways, it's a quarterly board game magazine that focuses on the best new casual games from a wide variety of publishers. Time to start reading. And this campaign was funded in, 10 minutes? Yes, 10 minutes. The quickest one they've ever had. They're over 300% funded. And you still got 12 days to get on this going through the 24th of July. Definitely check this one out. Did I tell you? I probably did last time if you were listening. But it's in 130 Barnes & Nobles, 150 Books A Millions. 70 independent stores, 2,500 game stores, also on the BGG store. 2,000 plus readers read CGI, and it's available in the App Store as well, so you can also go ahead and do it that way as well. So anyways, they got some reviews. There's different things going on. It's an awesome thing. You can get, if you have ad spots, if you're a publisher, you can definitely go ahead and do different things. You can subscribe to the magazine, both digital and regular, or you can just go ahead and put different ads on there. So for sure, online sponsorship for your business, iron sponsorship, bronze sponsorship, there's a whole bunch of them. So you want to definitely, well, the gold sponsorship is it's gone too quick. It's already gone. So yeah, definitely check this out if you want to read a cool magazine about games, or you can catch up. Can you catch up? I think you can catch up. Yes, I think you can catch up. You can pledge a lifetime subscription. Lifetime digital subscription. No need to renew ever. It's a PDF and an app. PDF plus app. For $10 and an optional 1-year print upgrade. So for $40, you can get a lifetime subscription. That looks like it's my ball and chain. Anyways, this is an awesome one. So definitely check out CGI, or Casual Game Insider, Year 7 on the Kickstarters. Next, are you going to be in New Jersey, Atlantic City to be specific, in October the 12th through the 14th, or do you live nearby? Or do you just simply want to get some of your advertisements into some great people, gamers in that area's hands in that time? Definitely you'll want to check out bringing HLG Con to the next level then. High Level Games is hosting a convention in Atlantic City. We want to have the best material on hand to create an awesome experience. They are funded, and you got 2 more weeks to get on this one, ending the 26th of July. Next, Immortality, a Greek mythology game with dice, cards, and more. Greek mythology for all to enjoy. Roll dice, draw cards, battle beasts. Will you get out alive? Will you? I guess you'll have to back the game to find out. And this one also has 2 weeks to go. They have overfunded, and they're going through the 26th of July as well. Next, this one, actually the Leafs, well, at least I did, but I played it twice, reviewed it and everything, and also had the creator on the show. So you'll definitely want to check out this one that I'm about to tell you about. Crown of Aragón. That's right, you heard me right. Crown of Aragón. If I can find my Safari. Where'd my Safari go? Oh, I lost my Safari. Don't tell anyone. Yes, I repeat. There it is. Anyways, Crown of Aragón. It's a 2-player card game of medieval intrigue and conquest that can be played in 15 minutes. Seize the crown. And this one, what? 2000... I want to say it's a 20%. Yeah, it's about 20% funded, and it's a really fun game. I love this game, and I know you will too if you go ahead and take a chance on it. But anyways, it's got a little bit over 2 weeks to go. They got 15 days to go, and they need about 100 and some odd backers probably. But definitely check out Crown of Aragón. It's a fun game. I really loved it. Did I tell you? Yeah, I told you how to play it or what it's about. You can go back and listen to my review episode. Anyways, next is Asanakids. Yoga and mindfulness game? Yes, Asanakids. Learn yoga and mindfulness while playing. Do yoga poses, align the chakras, help the princess to get rid of their bad emotions before they block them. They're not moving too far, but they got 20 days to go. So you can definitely check this one out. So a little bit less than 3 weeks. It looks like it could be a pretty fun game. Give it a chance. Go at least check out the Kickstarter page. Tell them Getting Geeky with Game Relief sent you. Why don't you do that at least? Anyways, next one. We've got Kingdoms of Erden. We had the creator on the show, Tim, a while back ago. They funded pretty soon, and there's still 22 days to go. But anyways, collect faction members and dominate the mountains in this fantasy set collection strategy card game. Ages 10 plus, 2 to 5 players, 15 to 45 minutes. Yes, sirree, Bob. You collect faction members and dominate the mountain in Kingdoms of Erden, King of the Mountain Dwarven expansion. Definitely check out this campaign. Next, You do role play, don't you? Well, I don't know if you do. But if you do, you definitely want to check out this. And if you didn't hear the interview I had with Caitlin, definitely go back and listen to yesterday's episode, The Complete McCaigue Creature Compendium, Volume 1. Do you need a new original creature for your tabletop role-playing games? Check out The Complete McCaigue Creature Compendium, Volume 1. Yeah, definitely check this one out. It's got a little bit more to go to their goal, and they still got 23 days to go. So, definitely check out this one. It looks like a really fun game. So, definitely check that out. And then, what else do we have? Let's see. I don't even know what day they had some updates post, but I don't know what day they posted on. Interesting. I was trying to look and see if they, July, let's see here. Yeah, they have some posted updates. I don't know when they posted. Hopefully, will be mentioned in one of the updates. Anyways, next and last but not least, before we bring you our preview of Out of Sorts, which is on Kickstarter as well, we've got this game is called Clustered, 2nd edition. It's a strategic card game. Battle your opponents by placing cards with matching attributes next to each other. Can you out-strategize everyone to win? They've got 28 days to go, and they funded this game in what? I saw a picture. In 4 hours. And it's only $15 plus shipping, I believe. Definitely check it out. Yeah, so definitely check that one out. And there's also something along the lines, if you refer 4 people, you can go ahead and get a free game or something to those lines. So definitely check out Clustered. It looks like a pretty cool game. Anyways, I think that's all we have on Kickstarter Corner. Now, on to my review of Out of Sorts with the kids. Anyways, yeah, check that out. Out of Sorts. And I'll be reviewing this with the kids. Speaking of the kids, guess who I'm joined by right now?
It's Queenleaf!
Don't yell. Say it normal.
That's Queenleaf.
Hey, Queenleaf. How you doing? How are you doing?
I'm good because I woke up early.
Oh, you woke up early? I guess Queenleaf woke up early, so that's good. So interesting. So, what game do we play yesterday? Do you remember?
No.
It was remember that wood box, the Out of Sorts game?
What wood box?
It's like a wooden box, and it had wooden tiles, and then the round wooden circles. Do you remember that game?
Squares?
Well, the wood squares, and there's also the little wood, what do you call it? They look like pennies. Do you remember? You turn them over, and what do you do with those?
I don't know. Make a match?
Yeah, you make a match with the wooden tiles. And then what did you do with the little penny things?
I don't know.
You pick and see who gets the highest
number, and they get to go first.
Yes. What did you think about that game? Did you like it?
Yeah, but I was creeped out. Not the girls, but only the boys.
Interesting. But you liked it because I've seen you sneak off with your sister and brother to play it, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. So would you tell your little friends to play it?
My friend's Lori.
Yeah, would you tell Lori to play it?
No.
Why not?
She would be creeped out, I bet.
Okay, but you liked it?
Yeah. Only the girls,
Yeah.
because I didn't get creeped out or something.
Would you tell Lori to play with the girl ones?
No, she would get creeped out either.
Oh, okay. Did you know they have animals for this game?
Animals?
Yeah, they have animals. That's another box you can get. So I don't know if you like the animal ones better.
But is it creepy though?
I don't think so. But I didn't think the other ones were creepy. But would you play this again with your siblings or your dad?
I guess I would play with you.
With me? Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Would you like to get the animal one?
But what's your name again? But I would get the animal one.
I'm Gamer Leaf, your dad.
Oh.
Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. Would you like to check out the animal ones?
I don't know.
Do you know where you can find them right now?
No.
Think about it. What do you think they're on?
Game store.
No, they're not in the game store. They're in
Kid store.
Kickstarter.
Kickstarter Corner star.
Kickstarter. They're in Kickstarter.
No star Kickstarter Corner.
Yeah, they're on Kickstarter Corner. We've been talking about them every time. So yeah,
I haven't been talking about them.
That's because you've been missing Kickstarter Corner. Where have you been? Where have you been, Princess or Little Leaf or Little Gamer Leaf?
Queen Leaf.
Queen Leaf, where have you been for Kickstarter Corner? Tell me.
For playing games.
Oh, you've been busy playing games. That's a good place to go. Are you going to come back to Kickstarter Corner everywhere?
I don't know.
Well, we'd love to have you back. Thanks for joining us on Getting
Geeky with Gamer Leaf or the dance floor. But yeah.
Interesting. Well, thanks for joining us.
Can I still be with you?
Sometimes, yeah. How about you go get your little sister or your big sister? Can you?
Little sister?
Yeah.
I don't have a little sister.
Don't yell. Go get your big one then. Thank you, Little Gamer Leaf. Queen Leaf. Thank you, Queen Leaf. While we're waiting for Princess Leaf, I thought I'd tell you my opinion of the game. So, Out of Sorts, I really liked it. At first, I didn't know how the robots got set up, but there is pictures on the Kickstarter, so then we were able to know. But anyways, they have lots of cool games that you can play. The first one we played at the first of this episode, the story, was something about silly. Yeah, something about silly, but there's several different games. It's more of a system like they talked about. I really liked it. I was really quite surprised and pleasantly surprised when we got the box. It was awesome. The wood tiles, there's like a wood box that comes in. It says Out of Sorts, all nice and neat. And then it's got the wood tiles. There's like 12 or something or whatever. We got the robot ones like we talked about. Would I play this game again? Most definitely. I want to check out all the games they have, and they've been coming out with more since the Kickstarter's been live. And then also, would I back this on Kickstarter? You bet your bottom dollar. I would like the animal one because we already have the robot one. And plus, there's an option to get a personalized one. If I had the money and knew some cool pictures, actually, I would do pictures of my family. That would be awesome. Maybe I'll see if they can do it later on when we have the money. But that'd be awesome. Anyways, would I back it on Kickstarter? Would I play it again? And would I tell my friends about it? Yes, most definitely. I think they should get it, especially if they have kids. I thought it was quite fun. Now, let's bring on our next guest. We're joined by none other than...
It is I, second Queen Leaf.
Or...
Princess Leaf, but I'm Queen Leaf right now.
Okay, thanks, Princess Leaf. That's what I'll call you. That's what the fans know you by.
Don't ruin the mood, Gamer Leaf.
Okay, well, Princess Leaf, what did you think about... Or what did we play? Do you remember what we played?
Yes, you said it on the
What's it called?
Channel.
What's it called?
It's called Out of Sorts. We got the robot version.
Okay, so how do you play Out of Sorts?
So basically it comes in a wooden box with a lid, and it has like a blank, and then it has UT, because it forgot the O, or maybe it was trying to look like an O. Then it has sorts, Out of Sorts. And then, and then there are some board things. There are different games to play.
Okay, the games we played, do you remember the rules or that first game that you've played a couple times?
Yeah, memory match.
How do you play that?
So basically there are tons of robots. I think around 5 or 6, and you're supposed to match them with their body parts. On the first time we played, we got it all confused. Except I was there, so I was able to help most of the time.
So how do you play? How do you do it?
You're supposed to match.
So tell us how to play. We set the tiles out face up so everybody can see them, or what do we do?
No, upside down. And then you have like tokens, you put them upside down, shuffle them, and then you have to pick the highest number to go first.
Okay, and then somebody goes first. What did that person do?
They pick 3 body parts, a head, a body, and legs. They try to, at least.
Okay, so are they all together, or all the heads in one spot, all the bodies in one spot?
No.
Okay, so you set it up. How do you set it up?
Okay, so you put all the tiles together, but face down. Like if you have a table, then do that, because you don't want everything to go dilly-dally. Anyway, next, then you pick the tokens, shuffle them, and then you pick the highest number, and the first highest gets to go first, and then the next highest gets to go next, and then until all 4 players or less have played.
And how do you play? Tell us how to play.
I keep telling you.
Okay, so all the tiles are down there, and then what do you do next?
Then you pick 3 body parts.
But you don't know what you're going to be getting, do you?
No.
Okay, so you turn three tiles over, you mean, and then what do you do with that?
You keep them in the same spot, and then you see if they match.
And if they match, what do you do?
You gotta keep it, and that's a point.
But if they don't match, what happens?
Boo! You don't get anything.
And the game's over, or what happens?
Yeah. Wait, no, it isn't until everybody gets the tiles, or everybody loses them.
Okay. So you turn them back over, or do you keep them face up? How do you play?
You turn them back over.
Okay, and then what happens the second person goes?
Then they do the same thing. And if they have to, they can cry about it if they didn't get the right thing.
Interesting. So, what are your overall thoughts on Out of Sorts?
It was a fun, fast-paced game. I think it's for, older kids, and you should probably not play it if there are some younger kids in the game, just to make it family-friendly.
Oh, I think the younger kids like it as well. I think Little Leaf is just a little tired. But anyways, so you liked it? Or what you said those were your thoughts. Did you like the game?
Yes.
Would you play this game again?
Yes, and yes, I would back it on Kickstarter if I had my own money and we didn't have this.
Hey, you stole my question.
And to change it, I would have them put pictures of ponies.
Well, you can actually, there is a feature and an option to pledge. It costs more money that we don't have right now, but you can pick your own Out of Sorts and they'll do your own pictures. That'd be cool, huh?
Yeah, we could put every girl that would ever want to in every picture.
I thought it would be cool if I'd got my family and we did pictures of my family. I thought that would be pretty fun.
I'd be too shy.
Well, you wouldn't have to. I just already give them a picture we already had.
No, that's special, and we need to get little Queen Leaf.
Interesting. Well, anyways, can you go get Barbarian Leaf to come on the show?
Wait, I have to rate this.
Yeah, how many leaves would you give it?
I'll give it 2,005,238.
Okay, did you catch that, Out of Sorts people, or anybody listening? 2,005,000 something or another.
30.
30 something or another. So there you go. Now we'll bring Barbarian Leaf on the show.
He's coming, and Dad's going to show you a sneak peek of his face.
Who do I have on the podcast now?
Gamer Leaf.
No, you're Barbarian Leaf. I'm Gamer Leaf.
No, I'm Gamer Leaf. You're Big Gamer, and it makes sense if I'm Gamer Leaf because I'm much younger, and Little Gamer Leaf. So I'm Middle Gamer Leaf.
She actually changed to Queen Leaf.
But I'm Gamer Leaf, and you're Big Gamer Leaf.
Okay, so
there
we go.
Me Gamer Leaf.
Son of Gamer Leaf. That's what I'll call you. You can know.
Gamer Leaf.
You can know yourself as Gamer Leaf, but I'll call you Son of Gamer Leaf. So Son of Gamer Leaf. What game do we just play?
Out of Sorts?
Yeah, Out of Sorts. That was that tile wood game. What did you think about it?
Don't know.
Okay, did you like Out of Sorts?
A little.
A little? Would you play it again?
Probably.
And if you had the money, would you back it on Kickstarter?
Teensy bit.
Okay. And what would you tell your friends about it?
Don't know.
Well, think about it.
I don't have it thinking in my head very much.
Oh, okay.
I don't really know what I would say.
Oh, well, that's okay. How many leaves would you give it?
50.
50 leaves. Well, that's better than 0 leaves.
Plus 5.
So 50 plus 5 from Barbarian Leaf, or Son of Gamer Leaf, as he likes to be called.
And what do you give me? How much leaf do you get? Big Gamer Leaf?
Hey, how many leaves would I give Out of Sorts? Well, that's a hard question. I really liked it. Yeah, I really liked it. I would like to try the animal one. But yeah, I really liked it. I think it is an awesome game. One of the best games that we've played this year, I think, for Little Leaf. or Queen Leaf, whatever she's going by at the time. I think it's one of the best games we've played with her this year. So anyways, it's time for us to get on with our lives, you to get on with your lives. But in the meantime...
Wait, what?
While we're getting on with until they see us next time, what should they be doing? Go ahead and...
Say bye to this big gamer leaf.
And also get
geeky, stay geeky, bring others to the geekful, and make sure his name Big Gamer Leaf.
I guess call me Big Gamer Leaf.
Out.
If you're still listening, reminder, go check out our giveaway that we're doing with TLDR Game Series, Giveaway Geek, as well as Unfiltered Gamer. You want to check it out because you could win one lucky winner or listener could win a copy of Gloomhaven from Cephalofair Games. Anyways, like he said, go ahead and get geeky, stay geeky, and bring others in geekful. We'll catch y'all on the flip side. Gamer Leaf out.
Game over. Tune in next week to see if Gamer Leaf and Dreams are respawned.